It's another great example of the Columbus way. We've continued to talk about affordable housing being an issue here. And so what you've seen just in the last several months during the course of this year, for the first time ever, the city put a neighborhood development issue on as part of our bond package in May that passed with the highest levels of support we've ever seen for those issues in the city's history. And that neighborhood development fund will serve as kind of seed funding for the partnership around affordable housing. Then you saw the announcement of the Housing Action Fund, $100 million, primarily driven by the private sector, banks, financial industry, financial services, all stepping up to provide additional resources to help this. And then the county commissioners showed incredible leadership, stepping up and contributing significant amounts of money through the increase in the conveyance fees solely designated for affordable housing. So the city, the county, the private sector continuing to work together in the Columbus way. Because we think we do public-private partnerships better here than anywhere in America. And affordable housing should be a top priority for all of us as we move forward in this great time of growth for the community, but also when folks are starting to feel the pressure, particularly around housing, because of that growth.
Well, Central Ohio has compelling needs, and they exist today, and they're only going to get more challenging going forward. So we're looking for different ways to impact and accelerate affordable housing opportunities and the availability of housing units. A couple of months ago, we announced the Housing Action Fund in Columbus. We are the largest contributor. It was our idea to try and establish the capacity to make significant investments. Almost think of it as a revolving fund. So there's a property that typically would take many months, if not a year or so, to raise the funds to acquire. They can acquire it now in the Housing Trust overnight, and then raise the funds and other financing sources to repay that initial advance. But they're not exposed to losing the property to other buyers during that interim period of time. It's a very hot property market. So this will substantially increase the amount of affordable housing, and I view it as on a multiplier basis. If we're really good over the next 15 years, that fund should turn every year and a half, 2 years, and that's about $1.5 billion to $2 billion of affordable housing that otherwise, the majority of which I don't think would be available.
It's very difficult to find sites, and I would urge communities to help us find sites. The actual suburban communities and urban locations are all in need of affordable housing, but the sites are so hard to come by, and they're so hard to get zoned when you do find them. So one thing I would encourage is the actual municipalities to help find those sites, help steer us to locations where they know we can get this done. But not second-rate locations, not locations that are cast-offs. These need to be places that anyone would love to live, and you need to mix it in with the existing neighborhoods and not be afraid to do that at high densities.
What we love is opportunities to partner and do things that are innovative. So on our phase 2 of our Gravity project, we've partnered with Homeport to build about 60 affordable housing units on an adjacent site, and that's truly a public-private partnership where the city is providing the land, we're able to build the parking and some shared amenities at a really, and provide a really great experience for those future residents, and then Homeport comes in and does what they do so well on that site. Wouldn't be possible without all those three components coming together, and now we're able to provide 60 affordable units.
I think I'd like to ask everybody in attendance tonight to think hard about what you can do as an individual and as a company to advance the mission of Homeport. We all have different skills, we have different financial abilities and constraints, but we all have the ability to understand that this is important to our community. Affordable housing is a critical component to a community's success and growth. So engage in a little introspection and think what you can do.